Hey everyone, Father James. Just hoping you're enjoying your time at the Acme 2026. Do go into my book, look at those reflections. I'm sure that whether it's skipping interstellar stones with Larry Lebowski, we can take a look at some fun stuff. But today we're going to look at Hubble palette imaging, or editing, I should say. So just as we did before, I want you to open up your images. We're going to need to do another astrophotography stack. And this time I want you to look for the files that I sent to you of the NGC 3576. And here's your data, H alpha O3S2. And we'll start importing that. Now, these are different kinds of filters. And so therefore, similar, we'll identify our H alpha, and then we'll go to O3, identify that, and then our sulfur. Now, H alpha is a hydrogen line of light that's very narrow and specific, that we filter all other light out except for that, along with this O3, which is a very specific line of the oxygen band of light, and same with sulfur, the S2. So this is literally called narrowband monochrome photography, simply because we get a very narrow band of the light, excluding all other light, to really maximize how these images can look. And they can really be stunning. I have to admit, I'm a beginner at Hubble palette imaging, so I am not the expert on this. I'm probably going to laugh at this video in the future on how bad my imaging looks. But heck, let's just have some fun with it. Now, as I shared in a post for Sacred Space Astronomy, Hubble palette imaging is actually what NASA can use, not just to create some very wild and beautiful pictures, but also to actually do science. And there's a whole range of things they can do with false coloring of whether it's nebulae or planets, to kind of get a sense of depth and so forth. I'm not going to treat the science in the video. I just want to have fun with you tonight to have a little image. So let's go to our pixel level. And here's our stack. Now, just as our other images, we're going to delete our normal tone boost, and we're going to rename our files. So here with the S2, we're going to do S capital I, O capital I for the oxygen, and H alpha will be capital H, lowercase a. Make sure that A stays lowercase. Now we'll have to colorize it. So we'll come over here to our James Ritson data setup, and if we scroll down, we begin to see a collection of letters of SHO, HSO, and these are sulfur, hydrogen, and oxygen, the SH and the O corresponding with our files. And so therefore you can do a whole bunch of different assignments of the color channels based on these different letters. And I would encourage you to mess around with them. Here you see an RGB HSO. That we would only use if we actually had red, green, and blue data, but we don't. So we click on SHO. That's the standard Hubble palette of SHO. Again, look at my video or the post I had on the blog with the video to explain it. And if you can notice here, the green really is powerful. And there's a way to balance it so the green doesn't dominate. And so what you want to do is, for me, click on the green, and then for Apple it's Command, and I think it's Control, and you want to highlight all three files, but in the order of green, red, and blue. Then we'll go back up to Pixel in our astronomy tools, and this time hit Linear Fit. And what that has just done is it's balanced out the the green, the red, and the blue. So the green isn't as dominant. As I shared with you before, green and magenta are the two colors that are both fun and your enemy when doing astro editing. But that'll give us a good start point. Now we go to our tone stretching. Now with this, just try them out, experiment with them. All of them are going to look pretty gross the first time you hit them. But the only way to really kind of understand your method and what speaks to you is to try these different stretches. Every once in a while, it kind of glitches and it won't stretch the first time. Just hit it again and just see if you can find one that you like. For this, for whatever reason, I find with Hubble paletting, I always like the color preserving tone stretch. And then just like our LRGB, you go up, back up to our pixel, to our filters, to astronomy filters, remove the background, you know, reduce that handle, and then move that handle, find a dark place where it lets a lot of light in. Now, with Hubble palette imaging, I would encourage you to play around with the different color samplings. So maybe you want less green. You can start to reduce that green if you want. Maybe you want to either increase or decrease the reds. So you can play around with that on the slider. Um, and same with the blues. Now, if you ever get to the point where you feel maybe, oh man, I've gotten too far away from and the image looks crummy, just re-click that handle at bar and it'll go back to its original suggestion. I again like lower contrast imaging, so I'll bring some of that color back. And then just because my eye gets annoyed with this that way, I just think it looks better this way. I'll rotate it. And now we just have fun. And when we go into the 32-bit, um, the different 32-bit presets, macros, we can scroll down and there's a whole bunch of different things that you can do specifically to SHO images that have the sulfur, hydrogen, oxygen lines. You can play around with the greens and just really make the image your own. So, for example, let's try reducing the magenta stars because all the stars look red. And stars aren't red, but this is Hubble color paletting, so it's not meant to, it's a false imaging, so, or false coloring, I should say. It's not meant to have the original images. Now, if you reduce the green, remember how that had such a positive influence on Andromeda? Not so much here, because the green channel is pretty prominent. But we can do there's different green tools here that allows you to play around with reducing or maximizing the green channel. I kind of like this one, but I do want to play with the percentages to kind of make it look a little better. So start to play with your numbers to get the percentages of how much of that data you want. Um, maybe we want to try, that really didn't do much of anything, so we can just get rid of it. And again, just try these things out and don't necessarily think on your first attempts of these of, oh, I gotta have the best image ever. Really use it as kind of a playground, just to see what speaks to you. What do you feel pulls aspects of the image out that you didn't see before? It also is a good time, as I shared with you before, that Affinity Photo 3 itself can come with a lot of other tools you can use as well. Here I just want to see if I can compress some highlights to kind of bring some of those blown out bright areas back. So again, you can just have fun with this. Also, too, one thing that's fun to do when you look at adding these images, as I was sharing, is that just to go to the basic things, white balance is something that you can either destroy your image or can make it immaculate. So you can use, this is the temperature slider. So we can either introduce cooler temperatures. This is your tint for green to purple magenta. And just really kind of go through and think of it more as a canvas than as a science project. Now, like I said, scientists use this, and this is kind of the scientific palette, but just for fun for your workshop, make some fun, crazy images with this. So, a very insufficient Hubble palette imaging how-to. I'm just learning it too. I'll probably post some more videos in the future on the Sacred Space Astronomy blog. Um, and I really, really hope you're enjoying your time. Dig into my book. Hopefully, you're starting to make some spiritual connections. And I'll talk to you all soon. I'll probably post some images on smart telescopes to come. Have a good one.